by a nationwide injunction. He said, thanks to this decision, we can now probably file to proceed with these numerous policies for those who have been wrongly, he says wrongly, enjoyed on a nationwide basis. He includes birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee settlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgery, and a number of other priorities. He said he had a whole list there. This is really the crucial part of this ruling. It does expand the executive, and it expands the executive under President Trump. They believe that now they have more of an opportunity to move forward with executive orders without the threat of having them stopped or paused by a lower court ruling. This limit of power is not going to just apply, as he said, to birthright citizenship, but to a much larger selection of issues that President Trump is going to try to push through using these executive orders, particularly now that this ruling has come down in the Supreme Court. Now, the other part of this that I thought was fascinating, you mentioned briefly, was him thanking the Supreme Court justices over and over again and thanking them by name. I'll just remind you, a couple months ago, we reported that President Trump had been critical privately about his Supreme Court justice that he appointed. Here, he said that she was brilliant, that her writing was brilliant on this ruling when she was asked about it. Clearly, he is very happy with the ruling here, but we don't generally hear presidents coming out and thanking the Supreme Court for their decisions, and that was probably another really notable moment here.
Where he is essentially celebrating the resignation of Christopher Wray. Unsurprisingly, he says the resignation of Christopher Wray is a great day for America, as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the United States Department of Injustice. Obviously, we've heard him say this before. I just don't know what happened to him. We will now restore the rule of law for all Americans. Under the leadership of Christopher Wray, the FBI illegally raided my home without cause, worked diligently on illegally impeaching and indicting me, and has done everything else to interfere with the success and future of America. It goes on, but I do want to kind of stop here because I think this is really the key of where Donald Trump's head was at when it came to Christopher Wray and the FBI. This was the real turning point with Christopher Wray, was when his house was searched, not raided, but searched in 2022 for classified documents. And what we have seen on Capitol Hill, and I know Lauren will probably talk more about this, was a more receptive audience to this idea of getting rid of Christopher Wray and putting in Kash Patel, more receptive audience among senators when it came to Kash Patel than even Donald Trump's transition team was expecting. And I will remind you that just a few days ago, Donald Trump was point blank asked if he was going to fire Christopher Wray, and what he said was,